In a post-apocalyptic American frontier, a soldier fends off a brutal warmonger to rescue a girl, fated as the savior of humanity. The world had been forever altered when an alien civilization invaded Earth, leaving it in ruins. The unconquered lands fell under the control of tyrants, while chaos reigned over the remnants of society. Amid this turmoil, there was a girl with a powerful secret. The Free Legion promised to protect her, for she was a harbinger of peace and humanity's last hope. Her name was Ellie, and she had fallen into the clutches of the ruthless warlord General Chisum. Two brave men, Tom Dixie and Abel, were tasked with rescuing her from this dark fate. They faced numerous challenges, knowing that the fate of not just this powerful girl, Ellie, but also the entire world, peace and humanity, is rested on their shoulders. In order to accomplish their task, Abel enters the general's territory disguised as a soldier. He bites one of the doctor's fingers and slips into the hole where Ellie and Tom are locked up. While the soldier reads a magazine and listens to music through headphones, Abel and Tom manage to pick the lock with a needle. Abel then hits the soldier on the head with a stone, knocking him out. They make their escape with Clamp, a guy who was also locked up with them, even though Tom is reluctant to let him join. The group quickly moves through the dark corridors, determined to find freedom and protect Ellie from Chisum's grasp. Together, they hope to navigate the dangers ahead and bring Ellie back to safety. Meanwhile, an alarm blares, signaling that the aliens are coming, causing people to scream in fear. The alien robot comes and shows Chisum a picture of Ellie. The robot alien chokes Chisum's neck and threatens him, demanding to find her when he claims he does not have her. Abel and Tom lead the way, while Chisum and his men try to catch up. Tom retrieves a bag full of weapons from underwater, where they had been hiding. Abel hands Clamp a blade and gives a gun to Ellie. Ellie points the gun at Abel and Tom in order to trust and know if they really are from the Free Legion, even though the gun is unloaded. They explain they are not exactly from the Free Legion but are working under contract. Abel then ties a rope around her waist, and they begin their journey toward Mineland. On their way, there is a sign that says, "Mind the mines." Gelman, one of Chisum's men, announces that he cannot find the trail of Abel and the others. As punishment, Chisum threatens him by aiming his firearm at Gelman and firing at the wood behind him, a warning shot to give him a sign of what he will do as a punishment. Dark Horse, a man who tracks by tasting the soil, tells Chisum that they have to go over the ridge to Mineland, which takes about half a day on foot, and they start their way to chase them. Along the way, Gelman accidentally steps on a pressure mine. The evil General Chisum commands one of his men to give him a rock so he can swap it for the weapon bag Gelman has been carrying, and they leave him behind to explode. Meanwhile, Abel and the others spot an alien on their path. Tom volunteers to check if it's alive, suspecting it might be a trap. After examining it, he declares it is a dead alien. But in his fright at the sudden sound of an arrow shoot, he steps back and accidentally steps on another pressure mine. Abel allows Clamp to try to deactivate the mine Tom triggered. He goes to find a rock for Clamp to use to balance Tom's weight, while he tells Ellie to talk to Tom. Clamp tells Abel and Ellie to step back, warning that the mine could blow after he places the rock while Tom lifts his heel. Clamp swaps the rock, and they quickly run for cover from the explosion. After a tense moment, Clamp starts to laugh with joy, having successfully swapped the rock without causing an explosion. Tom unties the rope from Ellie's waist, because she tries to help them, and they continue their journey, along with Chisum and his men. Abel and the others take a rest in a forest. While Abel scrapes a blade to start a fire for cooking, Clamp suddenly says, "You're him. You're supposed to be dead." Ellie asks Tom to explain what Clamp means. Clamp tells her that Abel led an army against the alien invaders. Tom then asks Ellie if she remembers when the aliens landed, and she replies that it looked like the sky was falling. Then Tom explains that Abel has a way of inspiring people to follow him. These followers were willing to fight, unlike others who were not. He adds that Abel has faced more challenges than most men twice his age. Abel reflects on everything he has endured. As Tom and Clamp snore on the ground, Ellie wakes up to the sound of cracking sticks. She picks up a gun from the ground, but when she turns, Dark Horse knocks it from her hands. As he attacks her, Abel stabs him in the back, killing him, and Dark Horse falls to the ground in front of Chisum. Chisum gets upset and orders his men to quickly bind Abel and the others. After taking them back, the general demands Abel tell him Ellie's secret, but instead, Abel spits at him. Chisum starts torturing Tom and his friends to get information. They break Tom's left finger with a brick as a warning. They bring Clamp in, and under threat, he tells Chisum who Abel is. Just as they try to stab Tom, Ellie screams, making Chisum leave and telling one of his men to keep an eye on them. The man threatens Abel with Tom's life, demanding he fight back. Tom seizes the moment, striking the man with a brick, and Abel chokes another guard to death. After that, they plan their next step. Then Tom sounds the alarm, creating a chance for them to escape. Abel cracks the Chizoom's man to free Ellie, and they run away, continuing their dangerous journey. As they walk through the desert, Tom collapses, asking them to leave him behind. Abel and Ellie pull him along with a rope, but soon, Ellie also falls, and Abel carries her as he tries not to collapse. He remembers the darkest days while trying his best not to fall. Crispus, a friend of Abel and Tom, rescued them. Jebediah and a boy are poking Abel and the others to wake them up. The boy notices that Tom awakens and rushes to inform Crispus. Once Abel woke up, Jebediah took Abel and Ellie to shower, while Tom and Crispus chatted and drank. During their conversation, Tom praised Jebediah for creating a safe place for them. Jebediah gathers the kids and plays music. The kids, excited, urge him to tell their fortunes. After some hesitation, he agrees, predicting one girl will have 6 children and telling a boy he will be a brave soldier. The kids ask Jebediah to do for Ellie, and she comes out in the front. While he is putting his hand on her head, he tells her to focus and close his eyes. However, he opens his eyes with shock and tells her that there will be love in her future, but then it dies. With confusion, Ellie asks if he really means it will die. Feeling sad, she goes back to the tent. Abel sees that Ellie is upset and follows her, asking if she is okay. Ellie tells him she is just a harbinger, but nothing else, and Abel tries to comfort her. At night, the air is filled with laughter as people cheer, dance, and drink around the campfire. The celebration creates a warm, festive atmosphere. In the morning, Crispus comes to the tent, where Abel and others sleep. Then Crispus talks to him while leading him into the tent, where General Chizoom and his men are gathered. Crispus informs Chizoom that Jebediah is hiding Tom and Ellie. Chizoom, furious, orders his men to seize Abel and demands to know the whereabouts of the others. When Crispus tells him they are not here, Chizoom is upset and commands to take him down and search the entire area. The general's men begin their search, causing chaos as people scream in fear. Meanwhile, the kid is guiding Tom and Ellie to a tent where Jebediah and the other kids have organized a tea party. When Giger comes to check the tent, Jebediah quickly reassures him that they are just playing, and Giger leaves without conducting a thorough inspection. When they tell General Chizoom that they cannot find Tom and Ellie, he shoots Crispus in the head, killing him instantly for failing to uphold their deal, even though Crispus insisted he had kept half of it. Hearing the gunshot, Jebediah and the kid rush in. They are horrified and deeply upset at the sight of Crispus's lifeless body. Chizoom and his men take Abel and leave the place. Meanwhile, the kids rise from the foam and work together to free Tom and Ellie from the underground hiding spot where they had been trapped. After seeing Crispus die, Tom and Ellie decide to take out Chizoom and his men's lives. Tom asks Jebediah for a car and some weapons. Jebediah gives them what they asked for and tells them not to hold back. Ellie assures him they will not be gentle. While Abel and Clamp are taken by Chizoom in a van, Clamp passes the blade to Abel, and they start to fight with a big fat man of Chizoom. After a hard fight, they manage to kill him. At the back of them, Tom and Ellie catch the Chizoom cars and throw a grenade at the Chizoom men's truck, which makes them happy while witnessing their explosion. They shout to Clamp to jump into the hood of their can in order to catch him, but Clamp cannot jump out because Abel is trying to take the steering wheel of the van from Chizoom's man. Abel is able to get rid of the driver, but Chizoom and Giger start to shoot at him. Then he loses control, and the van crashes while shooting back, which makes him unconscious. General Chizoom, the villain, shoots at Tom and Ellie, injuring Tom as he tries to shoot back. Ellie pursues Chizoom with her gun, but ultimately loses track of him. Suddenly, the evil General Chizoom approaches her from behind, tackling her to the ground and choking her with a rope while she attempts to grab her gun from the ground. Tom arrives and shoots at Chizoom. However, Chizoom runs out of bullets, leading to a physical struggle between them. Meanwhile, Abel awakens and goes to check on Clamp. As he is waking Clamp, Giger approaches and begins to fight him with swords, because Abel gets injured from the crash and tries to avoid continuing the fight. After a minute of fighting, Abel holds a sharpened stone without seen by Giger and manages to cut Giger's throat with the sharpened stone. Chizoom accidentally falls onto a mine while fighting, and when Tom walks away, Chizoom shifts his weight, triggering an explosion. Ellie wakes up near the blast site and approaches Tom, trying to comfort him as Abel arrives. Tom tells Abel that it was worth it before he stops breathing. As Ellie walks away in tears, she hears voices from the Free Legion, who come to take them away. Later, Ellie expressed her condolences to Abel about Tom's death, while he changed his clothes in a nearby tent. 6 months passed, and Abel found himself tied up by other evil men on a ship. Suddenly, a man sent by Ellie arrived to rescue him. He informed Abel that the Free Legion needed his help. When Abel declined the offer, the man questioned whether he wanted to know the truth about Ellie and began to untie him. The man then allowed Abel to listen to a recording from Ellie. In the message, she acknowledged the difficult situation she had left behind, explaining that the aliens were not what they seemed. Ellie begged him to act for Tom's sake and promised that she would explain everything in due time. Then, a gigantic robotic submarine engine descended, filling the area with a loud rumbling noise that echoed all around. And with that, the movie ends. We hope you enjoyed our recap. Like the video and subscribe to our channel for more amazing recaps. See you in the next one.